That's what it's all about. That quality of connection. That's what we're after. Now, this has been quite a challenge for me, though, of course, I feel it, I believe it. But to do it is not easy because I wasn't educated to make that connection with people. I was educated with a way of thinking and a language which was not designed to make people connect that way. It was designed to maintain domination structures. Structures in which some people claim to be superiors and have the right to control others. And when you're educated to fit into that kind of structure, you don't learn how to connect in the way that that song was about. The whole game is getting it right, as defined by the superiors. So the kind of education I received to play that game of doing what the authorities said is right, so you get rewarded instead of punished, not only doesn't help connect in the way that song was about, it really makes it quite a challenge, quite a challenge. I call the language that I got jackal language. I didn't learn to listen what's in the heart. I learned to listen with jackal ears. Let me show you how jackal ears work. I'd like somebody to insult me. Who'd be willing to insult me? Somebody be willing to do that? Dumbass. That sounded very sincere. Now, somebody calls me a dumbass. Now, listening, it's all about listening. How do I listen? What do I hear with that? If I wear these ears facing inward, I take it in. I agree with it. I think I must be a dumbass. I could tell from the way that person said they felt it. I must be a dumbass. Now, when you wear these ears inward and you hear something like that and you take it personally, you feel like PP, PPPT. Pretty poor protoplasm, poorly put together. More commonly known as depression, guilt, shame. So that's one option. You see, when somebody comes at you and says, dumbass, you can take it personally, you can listen, and you take the words personally. You think there is such a thing as a dumbass, and that you are one. Now, of course, I could have put these ears on the other way, the way I was educated, and now I judge the other person for judging me. I want to prove that they're the one that's wrong, not me, or they're the one that's bad, not me. So then I say back to that person, you have no right to say that. That's unfair. Now I'm not depressed. Now I'm angry. And of course, many of us in my culture were trained to be ambidextrous. Somebody can call us a name like that, and we can put these ears on both ways very fast, you see. So a simple name like dumbass, and we angry, guilty, depressed, angry, guilty, depressed. 2 years later, something reminds me of the night when I was in Finhorn and somebody called me a dumbass. Angry, guilty, depressed, angry, guilty, depressed. These ears are distributed by the makers of pharmaceutical products, you see, antidepressant medicine. In cultures that educate people to listen with these ears, you're going to have a lot of depression. And the arms manufacturers are going to do well too, because When you put the ears on this way, you turn other people into things. Killing them is joyful. As Walter Wink, the theologian, says, we have been educated to make violence enjoyable. This is what he means. This is what he means. But it wasn't accidental, you see. These ears work very well to make people nice, dead people, to fit nicely into authoritarian structures where some people called superiors control others. So nonviolent communication shows us how to listen moment by moment to what's alive in us, what's alive in others. And when we connect in that way, then we enjoy what the song is all about. We enjoy contributing to people's well-being. And we express ourselves honestly in a way that makes it enjoyable for people to contribute to our well-being. So I hope that gives you the spiritual basis of nonviolent communication. It's all about compassionate giving and receiving. And it shows us where to keep our consciousness and how to communicate and how to use power in a way that's in harmony with compassionate giving. So, to make that come more clear, let's practice it with a situation that's a real challenge. Think of somebody that at the moment it isn't easy to connect with them in a way that makes it enjoyable to contribute to one another's well-being. So think of somebody who's behaving in a way you don't like. And that'll be a good way to get our session started this evening. We'll see how nonviolent communication applies to that situation. And if you are saintly and you like and love everybody around you and nobody's ever done anything that bothers you, I'll give you my brother's telephone number. Call him up and within 10 minutes you'll have someone to work on. The last time I saw him, I said, how does it feel to be famous all over the world, you know? I mention you everywhere I go, and I told him how. And he was very disappointed. Nobody's ever called him. So it seems everybody around the world's got at least one person that, yes, theoretically, they'd love to connect with this person in a way where you can contribute to that person compassionately and they'll enjoy doing it for you, but they say it's a real challenge. For example, some people that come to my workshops tell me they're living with children who say horrible things, such as, no. So then all this nice sounding, compassionate giving and receiving and connecting, you know, that sounds very nice, but how do you do that when a child says a horrible thing like that? Or they're living at home with a partner, husband, wife, who says horrible, horrible jackal things, such as, that hurts me when you say that. Who like to use feelings in a guilt-inducing way. You see, you hurt me. You disappoint me. You make me angry. Ooh, dangerous language. Dangerous language. Or they work with people who tell them, have you forgotten who's boss around here? And in many of the countries I work, it's even worse than that. Other people really want to kill them for no reason other than their background that's different in some way than the others. So they're very curious. Marshall, how do you deal with these people that have these prejudicial views about you, want to kill you, dominate you? So whoever it is in your mind right now that's a real challenge to connect with in a way that will lead to compassionate giving. Let's pick one of those and work on it this evening. And let's get started by writing down one thing that person does that is not in harmony with your needs. You don't like it. It either triggers some mild discomfort in you or it stimulates a lot of deep pain, anger, whatever, fear. Whether it be someone you live with, work with, whoever. Think of somebody who's behaving in a way you don't like and write down one thing that person does you don't like. Now, it could be something they do, something they don't do. It might be something they say or don't say.